Locked in battle in Las Vegas, that's Team USA and Team Europe in the Mosconi Cup 2003. Team USA led early on, lost the lead, but their 9-ball pool stars have their noses in front yet again. Team Europe are the holders. They put together a 5-match winning streak to get within touching distance of retaining the trophy. But the Americans have leveled it. You won't see anything more exciting than this. Who will march off into the sunset as the winners? With 5 singles left, both teams need just 3 wins to take the trophy in this annual transatlantic tussle to see who has the best 9-ball players in town. We're at the glamorous MGM Grand Hotel. Each match a race to 5 racks with alternate breaking. Fans from the USA and Europe crammed together, almost hoarse with excitement. Lopsided wins for Morris and Archer, putting the USA level. Now El Nino needs to stop the rot for Europe. The young Dutchman taking on America's #1 player, Earl Strickland. Strickland still smarting from his humiliating defeat. 5-0 by Steve Davis on day 3, but a winner in both his doubles outings. By contrast, Nick lost both his doubles and won a vital singles. Too close to call? We'll see. A look at their records in the Mosconi. The Dutchman with a useful 50% record. Strickland's represented the USA 8 times, a phenomenal record. Let's join your commentators, Jerry Forsyth and first, Jim White.
Well, I just get the feeling that Nick Vandenberg is not the sort of player to be intimidated either. He's shown so much maturity. In his rookie year last year in the Mosconi Cup, he performed admirably, but I'll tell you what, I've got a feeling Strickland is going to be ready for this one.
Strickland usually is ready for the big game, and here on the last day, they're all big. America started the day with a 2-game deficit. You already know we're all tied up at 8. Every move important now.
I always remember what Nick Varner said to me a couple years ago when Earl won the world title in Cardiff. He said he's never seen Strickland get beat in a final, and he wanted every one of these players to go out here like it was the final.
Well, that's true. The closer that Earl gets to a title, the closer he gets to the win, the better he plays, the more focused he becomes. Wearing a new pair of glasses that Earl believes helps him see the edge of the ball more clearly. And Nick Vandenberg surveys his situation. You can see he's got 2 balls blocking. There you see the glasses that Earl now sports in all the major events.
And Nick looking at that left-hand cushion. Contact here, not as difficult as getting away with it.
Yeah, he's got to hit that 2-ball full or risk a scratch. There's the scratch. Earl Strickland gets the first break. And Vandenberg has made possibly a fatal error.
Well, there's one thing that you can rest assured of here. Strickland won't take near as much time as Johnny Archer does going through the balls. He does get on with it. A quick look just to survey everything and see the pattern with which he wants to remove the balls. He circles the table like a predator.
Strickland always known for having one of the quicker paces in the game.
He's going to be playing the 5 onto the 8, Jerry, and he's going to need that 5 to hang around that corner pocket.
Yeah, and you know the way that 8 ball is sitting, it's going to want to send the 5 ball down onto the rail.
The 4 offers no problems. Earl's already looking at that 5-8. And if Vandenberg is to have any chance in this opening rack, that's the form it will come in.
The 8 ball not really the problem here. It's how he forms up the 5 ball for the following shot, which is Earl's main concern here.
And he's not happy with where he's left the cue ball.
Well, the cue ball could float behind the 7 and give him problems, so he's got another thing to think about now. Oh.
Doesn't mind that. He's nicely on the 6.
He did not intend that 5 to fall, but he's going to live with that just fine.
Absolutely, Jerry. But the way he spins that cue ball around the table, showing so much confidence and looking like he's going to win the opening rack, and that's one more than he got in his last visit here against Steve Davis.
The 7 ball down. 9 ball right in his sights now. Strickland 1-0 over Nick Vandenberg. Gets the job done. And you can listen to that crowd. They are really getting into this competition now. And that crowd can make the difference between winning and losing. They can really, really get a player excited.
Well, Earl will be very happy with the way he broke and finished that one. Even though it was a mistake from Vandenberg, the scratch that allowed him back in. But still, you've got to hold serve. With this alternating break format, it's vital that you win the racks,
United States
that
wins
you
game
break.
number 1. They lead the
And
match
Nick's having a
1-0.
quick look
Europe
at
to
it.
break
The
in game
Sardo
number
tight
2.
rack employed here in the Mosconi Cup and offers a perfect rack. So Nick can really focus on that cue ball, the point with which he wants to strike it with power and control.
2 balls.
9-9!
Corner pocket.
And that's how quick it can happen. A golden break from Nick Vandenberg, the second of the Mosconi Cup, and it goes the way of Europe. Watch it. That 9 fluttered in off the 7. A delightful sight for Team Europe.
Well, that's easier than running through the rack. That's only the 3rd 9 ball we've seen all week.
Oh, sorry, Jerry, it was 3. There's been 3 golden breaks.
Right.
Beautiful. What a time for Team Europe. And Strickland, just like that, has been pegged back. And there's our Sardo rack. We talked about it. That diamond cluster, every ball touching. All the players rave about it. And why not? It takes all the mystery out of the rack, and there's the man himself, Lou Sardo, the inventor of the Sardo tight rack. A fan of the game, too, isn't he, Jerry?
Yeah, he's one of America's most fervent supporters. Earl Strickland now back to the table a lot more quickly than he had assumed.
Ball down off the break. Earl's looking for a shot at the 1, and he's got it. These guys are firing rockets at each other right now.
Wow, he really is hitting that break shot.
Both he and Johnny Archer, I think, have been breaking as well as anybody.
He's going to have to draw across the table and back. The rail path was blocked by the 3 and the 7. Now the 2 ball down, the cue ball will be able to float back across the table for the 3. I just don't see any problems out here.
Always ensuring to leave himself an angle. Affords him positional options.
The critical part of this next shot is not making the 5. That's a given. Instead, he wants to give himself enough angle to work that 6 ball so that the cue ball can go all the way back up table without having to pound the shot.
Yeah, 2 choices here, Jerry. He can stay high on the 6 and then draw it off the bottom cushion right-hand side, or he can float it down with a bit of spin to come below the 6. Then he'll play off the left-hand cushion. So just depends how he plays this. And that's the way he'll be playing the 6 to the 7. And he's spinning it down, so he's going to play off the left cushion and back up for that brown 7.
He'll be planning it now so that he takes that corner pocket over which his stick currently lays out of the equation. The last thing Earl would want to do would be to send that white ball home to that corner pocket. He needs to stay well wide of it.
Needs angle here, though. And I think he's got it just enough. Didn't want to finish straight on that 7.
He'll be sending the cue ball well over to the right-hand side of the table.
Geez, I have to admit, I didn't think he'd hit it at that speed. A very confident-looking Earl The Pearl Strickland secures the 9, and with it, reestablishes that 1-rack lead against El Nino. 2-1 USA over Europe.
Boy, listen to that crowd.
Well, they knew the Europe contingent had crossed the Atlantic to support their team, the team that won the Mosconi Cup last year. And the best way to fight fire is with fire. All of a sudden, day 4, and the American fans have come in by the truckload.
And we're used to American audiences sitting on their hands, being very quiet and respectful at pool tournaments, but not here.
United States
They're a
wins
part of
game
this
number
action.
3
They're
after
a big
3
part of
games
this
scores.
action.
United
And not
States
many
2,
empty
Europe
seats
1,
here
Europe to
at the
break in game
MGM
number
Grand.
4.
For the 2003 Mosconi Cup, the first one on American soil. It took 10 years to come. Now, Vandenberg with the golden break, the 9 in off the break in his last visit. We're going to see an instant replay.
No, the 9 ball is going to stay right where it started. And does he have a shot?
Nothing down. And I don't know whether Earl can get through to that 1. Looks like the 2 may just be blocking a clear path to that 1.
Of course, he does have the push out available as an option. If he doesn't have a shot, he simply will push that cue ball into a challenging position. Gonna walk around the table and take
Well, he can see the
another
1.
look.
He can get through to the 1 ball here. A good positional shot from the 1 to 2 if he gets it. And look at the remaining colors.
That would give him the rack virtually assured if he gets on this 2 ball. First, of course, the 1 has to go down. It does.
He's traveled too far. I think he's traveled too far for the 2.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with this.
Tried to float that 1 in and hold position to the 2. But can he see enough of it to make it?
Boy, if he can, he just can.
I think he just can, Jerry.
I believe you're right. He's siding it up. That's the tendency to overcut those shots. Now, is he going to leave a shot? Earl's very unhappy, but I don't think Vandenberg's real excited about coming to the table in this situation.
Well, he's telling him that he couldn't quite see enough of it, not comfortably. Apologizing to his teammates. He would have landed nice on the 3, but the good news for Strickland and Team USA is that he's not left Vandenberg anything easy. And you can see Nick's going to try and bump that 2 down in behind the 9 and take the cue ball, ideally to hide it behind one of those other colors.
Oh, he's going to have a nice block here. And because of the position of the 5 ball, the easiest kick off of a rail has become much tougher.
He may be able to still spin that off that side cushion, Jerry, but as you said, where that 5 is, that's something for Earl to certainly be aware of. He's looking at it off that side cushion.
Well, he'll go off that side cushion, I'm sure, but now he'll be spinning it with left English to increase the angle. He'll be hitting much closer to the side pocket than the natural angle would tell you he would be taking.
One of the game's premier shot makers. He's got as much cue power in reserve as a lot of players have, period.
Will probably hit this firm to try and create a little distance. Still studying exactly where he wants it to hit on that rail.
Jerry, he may play this with a very moderate pace and just try and bump it and use that 9 and 4 to hopefully land in between.
That's what he's doing. Can he get a block? It's going to overroll, Jim.
Well, that was his only chance. And Vandenberg is going to come in with a gilt-edged opportunity here now in rack 4. Just slot the 6 in, leave the 2 right over the corner pocket.
Wow. Vandenberg now with an opportunity. Six down. 2 is open, but does he have an angle, Jim, to get onto the 3? I guess he can go rail first.
Or he could even cheat the pocket here, Jerry. Force it into the left cushion as he looks. It's all about position to the 3. Couldn't really have landed much more awkwardly for Nick. If Strickland was playing this shot, I really couldn't foresee any problems, the amount of cue power that he has.
Yeah, he can draw it 2 rails.
I think that might be his only option here, too.
Yeah, really, he only has to draw it 1 3/4, as long as he can clear that 7 ball with his draw shot. There's the draw.
Missed the 9. Beautifully played.
There's some power for you, Jim.
Even Earl Strickland would have to be proud of that effort. He looks to have a nice little angle on this 3 to stun that cue ball off that left-hand cushion for the 4 bottom right. He's looking at it bottom left as we look. But that means that he'd have to take that cue ball between the 8 and the 7. I don't know about that.
That's a risky path.
I think he's better suited to just stun it in and play the 4 bottom right as we look.
There you go. That's what he's looking at now, Jim. Better safe. No sense trying to get perfect.
Not bad.
Not bad, but he would have liked to have been down further.
He doesn't have the ideal angle, Jerry, but he can swing this off the bottom cushion, the left side, and back out in the area of where that brown 7 is. Again, getting the ball, that's the first order of business. These top players can sometimes make this game look so easy. We take for granted every ball that's in the open. They are human. Every now and then they remind us.
This shot's certainly not automatic. He's really only 1 diamond away from a virtual spot shot here. Needs some good cueing power. Nice, solid, steady stroke. Oh, well done.
What a shot from Nick Vandenberg. Well, if you were wondering whether he had any cue power, check that effort out. I didn't think he would be nervous, Jerry, and he's performing like he's very comfortable out there. I think last year's Mosconi Cup has really put him in good stead. And wouldn't it be something if after Europe loses the first 2 here on the last day, they call out their youngest member to come out and get him back in front.
And it's so key to stay relaxed. A relaxed arm is a sure arm. But once you get nervous, it gets clumsy. There's Oliver Ortman studying every move.
And not quite as comfortable as he was having breakfast this morning, I assure you. That lead has vanished. And Nick Vandenberg is trying to do that very same thing here in our 3rd match.
Right in the center of the pocket and great shape. It's going to be a natural roll to get back onto the 9 ball. He'll go down 2 rails after the 8 goes into that corner pocket at the top left of your screen.
Matches like this, events like this, do an awful lot to build character in a rising star like Vandenberg. And you just know that this is going to turn him into a superstar of the future.
Nick Vandenberg to tie our match at 2. These pockets have to just seem tiny right now.
But not that tiny in a pivotal match for Europe. Experience on young shoulders, very evident here from young Nick Vandenberg. It's a match and an event the like of which the pool world has never seen. 2-2 here in this match, 8-8 in the overall scoreline. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this.
Earl Strickland has been called to the table. Wow, look at the balls fall for this fella. 3 balls down, 6 balls left. He has a shot on the lowest numbered ball. That's the red 3 at the upper right of your screen. It's a bit of a tester, but that's Earl Strickland out there.
May not be a better pure shot maker in the game. The only danger here, Jerry, if he gets the 3, that cue ball is going to be going across the table twice, and he may land straight on the 4, and that would not afford him position to the 5. Oh, he's played it perfect. He's played it beautifully.
Now he can hit it with a medium stroke. He doesn't have to pound it, doesn't have to feather it. A normal stroke will take him right back across the table for the next ball, the orange 5. Boy, these guys flirt with side pockets. Like there's nothing to it.
All Strickland can do, though, is respond to what Vandenberg has done. But Earl looking for his second break and finish. Like sorry, Jerry, I was going to say like Pete Sampras, all he's doing is holding serve and waiting for a chink in Vandenberg's armor to appear.
He has his choice of the side or the corner, whichever is more comfortable. Either will afford him position on the 9. 8 ball disappears in the side pocket. Cue ball comes back down to slay the 9. That's another dead 9-ball dragon. And it's 3-2, Earl Strickland.
He keeps giving them plenty of reason to get out of their chairs. And you can hear the chants in the MGM Grand, USA, USA. For the moment, their noses in front yet again. They enjoyed leads of 3-2 after day 1, 6-3 after day 2. And wouldn't you know it, Europe came back with a vengeance to go 8-6 in front. They won all 5 matches yesterday. And now, America responding in kind. They have yet to drop a match here on day 4. Back to 8-8.
Europe 2, Europe to break in game number 6.
Nick Vandenberg needs a good break off here. The last thing he wants to do is turn this table over to Earl Strickland. Well, he's made a ball, and it looks like the 1 ball's going to develop, but will he have a blocker? Oh, he does, Jim.
The last ball rolling comes into play, that green 6.
Well, does he choose the offensive option of the 1 ball cut across to the other corner, or the 1-6, or does he play conservative, move the 1 behind the 6 and send the cue ball across the table?
I think he's looking at the 1-6 combination, Jerry. the one thing about it, when the balls finish as close as they have, it's a little easier to judge the point of contact.
Well, you know, I kind of like the combination. What I don't like is how that one ball could wind up after this shot. If it feathers over to the rail, he could wind up in trouble.
Jerry, that's a very valid point. If Nick refuses this, it'll be for that reason. Mind you, the way he's lining up right now, I don't think there's going to be any discretion from this 23-year-old. And at that age, all you think about is hearing those balls hit the back of the pocket.
It's a courageous option, but is it wise? Time will tell.
This is all about where that one goes. And that's if he gets the 6.
He's missed the 6 ball. He played the 1 ball hard enough to bring it back over to the corner, and that's now advantage Strickland. Oliver Ortman disgusted with that result.
I think Oliver Ortman, if he could have come down and talked to Nick Vandenberg, he would have talked him out of taking that shot on. Little doubt. It just wasn't worth the risks because there was no guarantee he was going to land on the 1. And look at young Nick now.
That choice can turn into a long regret for Mr. Vandenberg.
Long ways from home, though. Strickland with a lot of work to do. He's on the 2, the 3, the opposite side, but he doesn't have a lot of room to get that cue ball to leave the 3 bottom left because it does not pass up in the top left corner.
Indeed, Jim, this is the critical shot. If he gets on the 3 ball, this rack is over.
Watch out for the side pocket. Oh, what a beautiful strike.
But he's not on the 3.
He played it in a way to take the side pocket out of the equation. Unfortunately for Strickland, it just didn't develop for him. But one thing about it, he can maintain the initiative with a good safety play. But again, if you're Nick Vandenberg, you've got to be happy you get back to the table.
Earl implying that he knew he should not have taken that shot on that way.
Well, it was so risky, though, with that side pocket, Jerry. And the cue ball would have been traveling right around it if he tried to play on that 3 to the bottom left.
Earl hiding behind the 8 ball. And Vandenberg, at least with an opportunity, but not much of one.
Very easy kick shot here, but it's all about the control. And Nick's having a look to see if the 3 goes by the 5 into the corner pocket. Is he going to take the aggressive option with this kick? A la Ralph Souquet. It was a kick shot that provided Team Europe with the 2-point lead. In Souquet's shot against Jeremy Jones, the last of yesterday's play.
A shot that deserves long study, eh?
But I think it passes just, and it does.
Boy, what a shot this will be if it goes in the pocket. It doesn't, but it's developed into another tough shot for Strickland.
Well, I think if this Earl doesn't cut this into the side, he'll definitely bank it. The 5 in very close proximity, so he doesn't have to do anything special with the cue ball. So watch for the bank shot here.
Banks are open for Earl.
Not ideal position on the 5, though. He didn't quite get the speed in the cue ball.
There's a very interested spectator next to Captain Varner. That is Weenie Beanie Bill Staten, Hall of Fame member. He was a champion back in the days of the Johnston City Hustler tournaments. He's been on the Tonight Show, starred with Mamie Van Doren there.
Great shot from Strickland. Just retrieved the situation, and he's looking like going 4-2 in front of Vandenberg.
Oh, what a critical game.
Earl right now is in complete control of that white.
Everything going America's way today. Nothing was going their way yesterday, a day in which they were blanked 5 matches to 0. But right now, Earl Strickland gets ready to go up on the hill. He's leading Nick Vandenberg 4-2 in a race to 5, and the American fans couldn't be more pleased.
Welcome back to Las Vegas. Rack 7 already underway. Strickland 4-2 ahead. Nothing on the break. Vandenberg at the table.
And boy, oh boy, has he tucked Strickland up behind that 7-ball.
Well, that was a much riskier effort from Nick Vandenberg, but you can see the rewards it's just paid. Dividends. And this, no easy escape. Not even for the master, Strickland.
No way to get there off of that rail. He's going to have to go up table, Jim.
No, this is going to take some kind of negotiating, this escape. Nothing easy. Even where the 4-ball lies, that takes the easy 1-cushion escape out, at least without playing a lot of spin.
He's got to hit this ball. That, you know, if Vandenberg really felt brave, there's a 1-9 combination sitting there with ball in hand, and I believe the 6-ball leaves enough of that corner pocket open.
And, you know, I'm looking to see if there's any way Earl can tie a couple colors up, and I don't even see anything easy there that presents itself.
I know, he's got to hit it. He's got to move that ball around a little bit.
He's showing you roughly with his cue stick where the white ball can contact that cushion and head down towards the 1. I think he's actually looking at a 3-cushion escape here, Jerry. He'll have to hit very near that corner pocket.
He's made a good hit.
Look at this, what a result from Earl. Look at him. Look at the Pearl there. Never one to hide his emotion. He let everyone in the house know how he felt about that effort. But what a hit from Strickland. Phenomenal escape here.
Boy, he hits that ball solid. Cue ball. Look at this dance. Look at this jig from Strickland. Whoa, baby.
From the pages of Rodney Morris, Learn How to Dance, Earl Strickland just showed us what could well be a winning jig. The crowds here from the outset have gotten into each and every shot. I don't think America has ever seen anything like this, Jerry.
Normally,
you attend all the events. Do you ever see them as boisterous and as animated as this?
never. American audiences are trained to sit still and be silent. There's no silence here as Earl Strickland comes to the table with ball in hand. And basically, Jim, an open table.
It'll be a very relieved American side, but they've still got a long ways to go. Nick Vandenberg, it has to be said, came up against a juggernaut in Earl Strickland.
That was just such a huge shot, that last kick shot from Earl. It's hard to come back when your opponent does something like that to
Don't
you.
put that European flag in the closet just yet, because still to come, Mika Immonen, 4 for 4 in this year's Mosconi Cup, and then following him, Ralph Souquet. So Europe could get right back in it in a hurry.
Europe will be fielding 2 world champions in a row after this match.
Earl with ball in hand. All the colors invitingly placed. A man that has seen all the pressure of every event from the 4 corners of the world. Will he embrace it yet again successfully?
He does need to be concerned with his cue ball position off of this shot. You can see the 3 ball. If he chooses to play it in the corner, it has to be a combination on the 6. Oh, that could have worked out a little bit better. He doesn't want that cue ball headed over toward that rail.
Well, he won't be rolling this one in. He'd like to have been able to roll it in, but now rolling it in leaves the cue ball behind the 7 and the 5. He's going to have to play this at speed.
Boy, that makes it much more difficult to predict the path of the 3 ball after the collision. It makes it very hard to set up your next shot. Oh, he did roll it, but he's going to be able to work with that, but it's not what he wanted.
Not at all. A thin cut on the 3, and the cue ball is going to be dancing up and down the table. And anytime you get that white ball traveling, Jerry, sometimes it can be an equation for disaster.
This shot all about speed control on that cue ball. Oh, he's made the shot for Jim. If he likes that shot into the side pocket, he's all right. He's just got to bring the cue ball back out to the center of the table for the 5.
He keeps getting himself back on song. The shot-making ability very much on evidence here from one of the greats ever. Oh, I don't like the way he's hit that.
He doesn't like the way he's hit that. He's looking over at the American team and the audience going, what else can go wrong?
And that cue ball is going to be heading right over towards that side pocket. In rolling this top right, he just wanted this to come off the cushion slightly enough. He wanted the angle that he's got, just not quite so severe.
That was just too easy a shot, and he's going to pay the price. He's missed the 7 ball.
There's a very familiar pose you just saw right there last year against Steve Davis. That's what we saw from Earl Strickland when he missed a ball to the same pocket in losing the Mosconi Cup for America.
This man knows all too well the dangers of letting your opponent back into the game in short race 9 ball.
Such is the nature of the game, he's telling you, he choked. But a glimmer of hope yet for Oliver Ortmann and Team Europe.
What a huge turn of events this would be if Nick Vandenberg were to come back and defeat Earl Strickland.
Well, he should have been packing his bags out of the arena already. He knows it, so it's a lifeline that he's been thrown, and it's down to him to pull it in.
Vandenberg collecting himself for the shot. Just a nice, firm, steady stroke. Vandenberg stays in it after facing almost certain death at the hands of Earl Strickland. He gets to put another 9 ball away.
Down it goes, and Nick will be breaking off in rack number 8. At least he's alive. And right now, that's everything for Oliver Ortmann and Torsten Homan. And look at Strickland. He had it there. It was but one shot away from what would have left him a victory. Had he got this 7, the rest would have been easy. But watch this. We saw it last year against Steve Davis, and we see it again. Is it a sign of things to come?
That must be a terrible feeling of deja vu.
Europe wins
Earl's
game
still
number
talking
7
about
after
it.
7 games. The
He's
score is
got to throw
United
that out of
States
his
4,
mind now.
Europe
He's to
3,
collect
Europe to
himself
break in game number 8.
and come back.
4-3 in favor of USA. Vandenberg needs a break. One of the best. If he can pull it out here, the pressure goes right back to Strickland.
Vandenberg needs this rack and then an opportunity. The 2 ball is down. So is the 5.
Got a bank shot at the 1. Doesn't afford position to the 3. So Nick with a choice here. If he attacks, all he can do is play a 3-4 combination if he gets the bank shot. That's what he's looking at right now.
Well, the bank is pretty steady, pretty normal bank.
Well, you know something too? We've already seen he prefers to be aggressive. He doesn't like taking the option of trying to lay his opponent in the weeds. Let's see if again he elects to attack from this position.
And if he should miss this bank shot, he can play it with the right speed so the 1 ball comes back over against this rail. And at best, Strickland would be looking at a 3-ball combination shot.
He's fluked it! Oh!
And he's left Strickland a shot in the side pocket. The American fans have a little bit of glee.
Absolutely astonishing turn of events here yet again. Strickland got out of his chair talking to the American team.
But Strickland knows putting this ball in the side pocket takes the cue ball away from the 3. He just said, I can't get on that ball. And now he's mapping out a 3 to 4 rail path to send the cue ball around the table and get back on that 3-5 combination. A lot of traffic in there. And he struck the 6. That's going to alter his plan.
Can he even see the 3?
He just said, I dogged it again. I dogged it. You just saw him mouth it.
He has put himself under the gun, and Strickland again has to try and dig himself out. He's been the master of his own demise. Varner knows it.
Well, he just turned to Nick Varner and said, I can't get out from here.
A roller coaster ride of emotions here on evidence, as it has been each and every event in the past. And why would anyone have thought this would be any different? It's the Ryder Cup of pool. Pressure personified. And he's missed it. And as he left it for Vandenberg again.
That's going to be tight, the clearance for the 3.
The unfriendliest chair, apart from Strickland's, has to be occupied by Captain Nick Varner. It's going to be 4-4. And Earl can start thinking about his break-off in the 9th rack, because it's going to be materializing very soon.
2 mistakes from Strickland have kept Vandenberg in the game. Oh, will it be? At the end of the day, where will the Mosconi Cup reside?
They've only ever had to defend it on 2 occasions in 9 years. And to come over here and defend it in the Americans' backyard, everyone knew it would require a performance of their lives.
Nick chooses to take the 8-ball into the side pocket. He can just float forward to the right-hand rail. And he'll be straight in on that 9-ball to tie our match up and send us to double hill.
Perfectly positioned to just roll through for the 9.
This'll do it. With this 9-ball, we go to double hill. We've seen so many of these matches come down to 1 game. And we're going to see it again. Nick Vandenberg sends the 9-ball home.
Not for the faint of heart. This year's Mosconi Cup has lived up to advanced billing. Jerry, we got the best seat in the house. Strickland to break. Can he hold himself together for one more rack?
Boy, I don't know. I tell you, Jim, for the last 2 racks, we've watched young Nick Vandenberg picking pockets in the city of lost wages. Oh, boy, he's on a roll.
Well, we may need St. John's ambulance in attendance here because surely someone's going to be fighting off a heart attack in this one.
Strickland's got a ball down.
And he's got a shot at the 1.
Oh, it's not automatic. That shape on the 2.
Listen to Varner trying to push Strickland over that finish line. He may need help.
One of Strickland's fans just said, "I'm a believer."
More importantly, Jerry, is Earl.
That looks good. Well, he's overrun it just a hair, but he can make that work.
Nick likes it. And so do the rest of Team USA. Can he hold himself together? His nerves.
This match so critical. This one that Team USA figured to win. They had already chalked this one up in their book. After all, Earl Strickland, a multi-time world champion. Four balls away.
Or 5, I guess, Jared, depending on your math.
Well,
No.
How about 4 balls away
No
from the 9-ball?
excuses needed. The excitement here goes without saying. He's bridging over the 6, but this won't pose any problems. Just needs to bump this in and play the 6 to the side pocket that he's looking at right now. Never been accused of having a steel trap for a mind as Strickland. But still, if there's anyone in the game that you want to play a rack as significant as this one, I'm quite sure Strickland to be high on that list.
The 6 and the 7 automatic, as is the 8. But the 8-ball being that close to the pocket can make the cue ball do some funny things trying to get shape. Wow.
Look at him. Willing that cue ball to stop. It's all going to be about position from the 8 to the 9, and when you've got a ball as close to the pocket as that 8 is, position is never easy. It's never a given.
Strickland talking to himself. He did not get into the place on the table that he wanted. But he should be able to make this work. Will he draw back? If so, he has to avoid that side pocket. That's the more certain path.
Just has to ensure of not overrunning here.
Well stroked.
He knows it. He's perfect. And look at him. Look at the crowd. Look at Strickland. Unbelievable. The Pearl shines on. Earl Strickland, a 5-4 win over El Nino. And 3 points the Pearl has given to the USA in this year's Mosconi Cup. But what a match. What an event this has turned out again.
The USA back in the lead, 2 wins from taking back the Mosconi. Strickland, the competition's most successful player ever, pumped up by the attitude of players and fans from Europe.
Well, yeah, I'm 20 years older than him. When he's 42, I want to see if he can play. I want to be around to see if he can still play like me. And I don't know where you got these fans. They ain't got one considerate bone in their body. People are going to have to accept that this game, you're never safe. I don't care if you're playing a guy that really doesn't know anything about the game or not. Make him break from the middle and he'll break his hand.
Do you not feel